Good evening. We'll wait just a second, see if anybody shows up. Well, let's begin. Just finished davening the afternoon prayers, reciting the afternoon prayers, the mincha service, as I mentioned. Where we were last night in talking about the prayer service, we talked about the first of the 19 blessings, which is called avos, or fathers, where again we come before God, we're about to ask for things, we're about to supplicate. We just want to come to Him hat in hand and remind Him of who we are. We are the long-lost descendants, the great-great-great-grandchildren of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, even though we may not be recognizable as such on the outside or even in some of our actions. But in reality, that's who we are, and that's who God made the commitment with to always be there for us. So that's how the first blessing begins, talking about the avos. The first blessing ends with a beautiful formula. Blessed are you. Before we get to that, there are 4 words that describe our relationship with God. They are in Hebrew. There are melech, ozer, umoshia, umagim. I'll tell you what each one of those means. Those are 4 different types of relationships that we have with God and the way He takes care of us. So the first is melech. Melech is the Hebrew word usually translated as king. Very important to note that a king in Judaism is not like a king in the secular world, not the way we think of a king, especially as a despot, as a iron-fisted ruler with absolute control. And while God has that, He doesn't treat us that way. See, a king is really supposed to, hello Linda, a king is really supposed to take care of his people, provide for his people, see to their well-being. And in fact, in Judaism, a king served at the discretion of the people. The people had to acclaim him and accept him as king. And we do that too every year on Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. We talk about kingship and we accept God as our king on that day. And we have to accept Him as our king. It's part of the deal, so to speak. But in turn, He takes care of us. He is a divine father for us and supplies us with everything that we need. So that's melech. The second word is ozer. Ozer is helper. So the first time we run into the word ozer is in the creation story, when God created Eve. He says, I'm going to create for the man, Adam, an ezer kenegdo. Ezer, ozer, same word. Kenegdo, opposite him. A helper in front of him or opposite him. We can talk a long time about the meaning of that. But the main point here is that God is a helper. Again, like a king provides for his needs, but even on a more personal level. We'll talk about it when we get to the second blessing, which will probably be tomorrow evening. Actually, tomorrow is already Friday, so it probably won't be tomorrow evening. We'll talk about that. But He lifts us up. He's by our side. He provides for us when we're down, when we're downtrodden. He unties our bonds. He takes care of us on a very personal level. You think of a king as way up over everybody, providing for the nation. God helps us on a very personal level. That's what an ozer is. Melech ozer umoshia. Moshiach is a savior. And that's talking about at the time in the future when the Messiah comes and we are saved and redeemed as a people, and we will no longer have to worry about doubt and fear, and we will return to Jerusalem and to the Holy Temple, and we will be as we are supposed to be as a people. Umagen. Now, Magen is a shield. Magen is a shield. Everybody's probably heard of the six-pointed Jewish star, the Magen David, the Magen David, and Magen really means a shield. And it's especially important in this time that we're looking at now. The whole reason we're not in the synagogue, and the whole reason that I'm doing these things from my basement instead of doing them with a whole group of people or praying with a whole group of people, is because we have a situation where we are in danger. Everybody is, not just the Jews, but everyone is in danger from COVID-19, and we have to take very special precautions, and we have to do our part. But ultimately, it is God who protects us. God is our shield against harm. God is the one who is protecting us from the dangers of the world. And we have to do our part. We're in a partnership with him to do our part. But ultimately, Magen, he is our shield. And we close the first blessing, blessed are you, O God, Magen Avraham, the shield of Abraham, who protected Abraham, protects all of his descendants, all the way down to this day, and provides a shelter for them from the storms and vicissitudes of the world and all of the different things that have come at us over the centuries. God has been our shield in that case. So we begin by reminding God of who we are, and we finish with thanking him for shielding us throughout the ages. And that's how we conclude the first of the 19 blessings. And we will talk about the next one next time. Now again, because tomorrow night is the Sabbath, and we don't roll on Shabbos, we will pick this up again either Saturday night we can talk, or definitely on Sunday, God willing, and we will share more about the Jewish prayer service and the Amidah, the Shemona Esrei. Look forward to speaking with you again soon. Have a good evening.